We're playing first in round one again, and this is a good hand. Oof. I like this. We get Kessig Prowler on turn one to put a lot of pressure on, and then we can go Captive into, like, Ingenious Scob. Yeah, this is great. Opponent mulliganed. Oof. This could be very, very good for us. Liking the way this goes. It's possible, even if we draw a land, that we just go... oh wow, Captive into Confront the Unknown and Woodland Patrol. Hoping that we draw a land or two here. But we don't really need it that badly. I mean, we can play everything in our hand. For once, it's not a real big issue. The only problem would be if Ulvenwald Captive dies. So we can't get through with the Prowler unless we confront. And even if that happens, then they can just flip the Ravenous Bloodseeker. So I don't think I want to do that. Probably better to just play the Ingenious Scob and wait. We'll have some different spells we can play next turn with Confront the Unknown, Scrutiny, or Grapple, and we're in pretty good shape against it. But I don't want to throw away Kessig Prowler, because if we can flip it, it's really strong. A 4/4 that has to be blocked every turn is pretty nasty. Or, well, it can't be blocked by more than one creature, sorry. And do they discard? I can't imagine they do unless they have, like, Fiery Temper. Even then, probably makes more sense to discard it at some point to the Bloodseeker. No land still, but not a bad position to be in anyways. Let's attack with the Ingenious Scob. Or actually, I might just attack with both. Like I said, I do have this Confront the Unknown and the Scrutiny up now. I think it makes sense. I can block with the Bloodseeker here, and I get to Confront the Unknown on it. And then when they flip, then I get to get another card. I get a card out of their hand that they play, and I get to Scrutiny it afterwards. Take inventory. Let that happen. And now Scrutiny it. And this becomes a 4/5, so we get a bunch of damage through. Kessig Prowler gets to eat this Ravenous Bloodseeker. That was very good. Big thing is now that we need some lands. Blood Mist. Ooh, wow. That's going to be 8 damage this turn if they want. Nasty. I do have to worry about that. That is not nothing. Although I do get to hit back pretty hard. Okay. Play Tangle Claw. Attack for 4. I think that's what we want to do. Take another 8, go to 4. This is a problem. A really big problem. Tangle Claw can block 4 of the damage, but that's just not enough. Can I attack back for enough? If I just take 8, what do I do? Can't flip this anytime soon. I could transform this, but it doesn't do anything here. I'm using Ingenious Scob to deal 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm close, but not quite there. I think I just take it this turn. Rush of Adrenaline. Okay, sure. Oh. There we go. Yikes. Really hoping they just had like a land in their hand. That was a really strong Blood Mist. I could have chosen to block. I thought that it made more sense to try and draw something off the top of my library that might be able to let me kill my opponent. Like, I don't really have a lot, but there might be something there. Like, I don't think I have a second Confront the Unknown. Or just a way to deal with this, like a Prey Upon. If not, then I was thinking that I could double block it the next turn. So it didn't make a lot of sense. And there's not a lot that, for burn spells that deal the damage to me, it had to be a pump spell. So they specifically needed a pump spell, not a, like, Fiery Temper, because that would only put me to 1. I was still alive against that. I could put in Root Out against Blood Mist, but that's likely the only one in their deck, like the only enchantment or artifact, so it's going to be dead a lot of the time. So I'm just going to send it back. And, definitely mulligan this. I think we need to mulligan again. I have to specifically get a forest off the top. I do have 10 forests. So looking at the top 2 cards, maybe it's worthwhile. Really bad hands here. I think I can keep this just because of the scry. I don't know. I really don't want to go to 5. Just bottom that. I just need to draw a forest. It's the only thing I'm looking for. If I can get a forest, then I can play almost everything in my deck. These are a liability. I maybe should have just mulliganed this down to 5. I'm probably playing on a little bit of tilt. I'm kind of tired of mulliganing and stuff. That last game in the first draft was pretty rough. Like, drawing all the lands into mulliganing off the start was not a fun way to start off the drafts. But it's probably not a good excuse for me to be playing poorly here, choosing a bad mulligan. I think that we should have, just because these are too expensive, now that I think about it. Although if I do get a land, then Ulvenwald Captive, like I do get the forest, Ulvenwald Captive lets us play Wretched Griff, so... Alright. Nothing there. No forest in the top 3. Hopefully in the top 4. Next card. There we go. Alright, we're not totally dead then. Not a great spot to be in, but it's not the end. Oh, wow. Double Thermo Alchemist is a bad start for us. I can prey upon the Alchemist at least. So that's a thing. And I can actually do it right now. So let's just emerge this, sacrificing the captive. And get rid of one of these. We really don't want to have to deal with a bunch of Thermo Alchemists. Seems like that's a lot of possible damage their opponent has. They've got the Fury Blade again. They're stuck on mana, though. So they can be having their own troubles. Question now is, do I attack with Wretched Griff or do I hold it back to block Fury Blade? I kind of need to throw in some damage at my opponent here. I don't want to just let Thermo Alchemist go off, but I can play the Dire Swine next turn. And if I leave this now and they decide to attack in, I can confront the unknown and possibly just get them. They might have Rush of Adrenaline, but then at least they have to discard and use like a Rush of Adrenaline to get through the Wretched Griff. And that still just trades, because this becomes a 4-5. Playing a spell immediately. So they have a bounce spell, or... It seems weird that they just tap that so fast. Alright, let's block. I'm hoping that this isn't a Just the Wind, but I'm still going to use it. I don't have anything better to do. Rush of Adrenaline. Okay, so they still just trade. That's fine. And we get the clue off of it, so that's not terrible either. Oh, wow. Speaking of not terrible. Better and better. Bounce the Fury Blade. They get to hit us with that, but that's fine. And now we get Dire Swine, which can block Fury Blade all day. We can start racing 3 damage to 1. Hitting the Just the Win there was perfect. It would have been slightly better if it was Jace's Scrutiny, but I certainly can't complain. Just the Wind was a fantastic top deck. And they're really choked up on mana. Apparently they have another spell. Take Inventory. Sure. This is a sweet deck. Double Thermal Alchemist with a bunch of take inventories. Wonder how many they have. Uh-oh. I need less land. That could be an issue. But I am smashing for a ton of damage. Opponent's got to have some pretty good cards here to fight back from this point. But they have a lot. I mean, 7 cards to us just with nothing. Can't discount what this opponent can do based off the last game. I thought I had a really good hand and we just got absolutely destroyed at the end of it. Blood Mad Vampire. Alright. It's pretty great. Ooh, Prey Upon's excellent for us, though. Just attack with the Dire Swine and the Wretched Griff first, because if I Prey Upon the Blood Mad, that doesn't matter. Still can't block that well with Fury Blade. A smash. Down to 5. I need to keep drawing good stuff off the top like that. Bloodseeker and Fury Blade. They have a lot of power on the attack, but they don't have a lot of defense here. Let's see if they discard an attack. I think that makes sense. Nope. Well, they will attack for 1, though. I do feel like they need to be aggressive here. I do agree with their assessment on that. And another really good draw for us. We're getting pretty lucky right now. Definitely force them to trade or chump here. They can double block and make this into a 3-1. They have to worry, though, if we have a trick. No. Really? I can block with Breakneck Rider, but not the Ravenous Bloodseeker. I'm very confused by that choice. And isn't Bloodseeker just a much better card? They even have an enabler for Madness if they really need it. Breakneck Rider is so much better than that. Another take inventory. Wow, they got a lot of those. That's pretty sweet. I've never actually seen the take inventory work yet, so that's kind of cool to actually see it going off here. Maybe in our next blue-red spells list, we'll evaluate take inventory a little higher and take a bunch of them, see what we can do with it. That is the point. We got to try and mess around with cool archetypes, and I mean, if you can get 4 take inventories, I think that the card's really strong. I mean, it was drawing our opponent, what, 3 cards there? That's really good for 2 mana. Totally absurd, really. But I think that they're dead here. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Whew. That was a very interesting game. They got really hosed on mana, and we managed to just kind of get our bigger creatures out and smash through. If they had drawn their mana on time, Double Thermal Alchemist was very scary. But that luckily did not happen. Now what do we need? Root Out still doesn't seem great because it's really just a Blood Mist. Convolute's interesting because they're going to have some tricks, so maybe I can get them when they try and attack in, play Rush of Adrenaline or something, and then I can get the 2-for-1 that way. But I already have just the Wind and the Jace's Scrutiny that do that. So I think I just leave it the same still. The problem with Convolute too, especially when they're on the play, is just that it feels like it's probably too slow to really do what I want. How often am I going to be able to hold up 3 mana when my opponent's trying to be that aggressive? When they have like Fury Blade, Vampire, and Blood Mist, I'm probably not holding up 3 mana for Convolute. I have to deal with what's actually happening on the board. So I think that we just need to jam this again. Use just the Wind and the Jace's Scrutiny as, like I said, kind of protection against any Rush of Adrenaline style effects. Yeah, we'll keep this. This is strong for sure. Double Captive is nothing to scoff at. And Prey Upon's good removal against this opponent. They have some smaller creatures for sure. I'm kind of curious how many take inventories they do have, because they've had one at least every game. They showed us 3 last game too, which I wouldn't think that you'd get a lot more than 3. Oh my god, wow. Like, I'm curious if my opponent's just lucky, or if they're actually have like 5 take inventories or 6 take inventories or something. Let's go Ulvenwald Captive. Bold Impaler is not super worrisome, although maybe Stitchwing Scob better. Yeah, let's Stitchwing. I might be able to double up on Captive and something else next turn. I'd prefer not to prey upon like a Stitchwing Scob and something else here, because then we're just 2-for-1ing ourselves, but it is a possibility if my opponent plays something really good that we need to get rid of. I can certainly see doing it. Oh, they're just going to do that for their turn? Yeah, I'm very happy with that. And I should even be able to prey upon the 3-2 into the Bold Impaler. If they have Rush of Adrenaline, that's fine. We still get a 2-for-1. Maybe even better than that, because Enlightened Maniac's really, you know, it's half a card to get the 3-2. The 0-2 is not great, but not totally useless either. Attack the Stitchwing. I guess the other question that I have to ask, though, is do I actually want to prey upon Bold Impaler? Because the card's pretty bad. I don't think that it's doing enough for our opponent here. Maybe I just leave it. I do have a second prey upon, which is the one thing that does make me want to use it. Alright, I think I'm willing to... I think I'm willing to wait, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I can wait. We're fine. I can block the horror. If they really want to use their mana killing the horror, that's fine. I'm just worried about like why they're playing this, because they had a really good start in game 1. Their deck's kind of interesting. Vilden Pack Outcast. Yeah, that's an issue. We need to be able to flip this captive pretty quickly. So we go captive, and then I guess, what am I doing? I do not need to tap this captive. So we play this captive. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for next turn, and a prey upon, so we can actually kill the Vilden Pack Outcast at that point. And let's just attack with Stitchwing Scob and pass the turn. Vilden Pack Outcast is very scary, though. This is a lot of damage if they decide to give it the fire breathing. And it's hard to block in the meantime. Alright, make it so that the Eldrazi Horror can't block. Probably just chump blocking with the Enlightened Maniac on the Voldaran Duelist. Take whatever they'll give me from Bolden. Well, I can block Bold Impaler with the captive, too. Feels like they might have a trick for it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and let them hopefully use their mana there. And I can flip this and then prey upon it. That's gonna be the hope. I just want them to tap out. Okay. They have Rush of Adrenaline. Like, 99% certain. It of the Horde Swarm. Well, that would have been good. I can sacrifice the Scob, and then I can rebuy it later. I have the mana to do that. Like, I can just discard some lands to it, is what I mean. Attack with the Scob and the Horror, play the It of the Horde Swarm, and I've got a couple chump blockers. I can trade with the Vildenpack Outcast. They can use Rush of Adrenaline on it, but I can block effectively with some of the 1/1s, I think. They take 6, they go to 8. I mean, alternately, I could flip an Ulvenwald Captive. 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to tap it, though, to actually kill, like, to use the Prey Upon, which is a bit of a problem. Because if I flip this, then I have to tap it as well to use Prey Upon, so I've got both of the Captives tapped. If I go to prey upon the Vildenpack Outcast, they Rush of Adrenaline it. It doesn't kill the... Oh, it does kill the Abomination. Right, it would kill the Abomination too. For some reason I thought it was a 4/7. Yeah, that ends up really poorly for me. I could kill the Duelist, but that doesn't do a whole lot. Alright, I'm going to attack with these and play the It of the Horde Swarm. I think that's what makes the most sense. Mildly tempted to even use the Prey Upon with the It of the Horde Swarm. I could do that on the Duelist. Maybe be willing to take a hit back from the Bold Impaler and Vildenpack Outcast there. Dual Shot. Alright. Well, that seems bad, but it's actually kind of awesome. Because it means that we can do what we wanted to originally, which is... to transform the Captive, and then Prey Upon. Sure, we take some damage on the backswing, but we have big creatures in the meantime. We probably don't just straight die here. We have to be a little bit worried about our crackback. Unless they can kill us right now. It's possible. I mean, they could have like a Uncaged Fury or something, but I think it made sense to kill the Outcast. That Outcast was really scary. Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, they're just pumping the Bolt Impaler twice. Okay, I missed that. And then Borrowed Hostility, which is exactly lethal. Okay. So they had exactly what they needed. If we had It of the Horde swarmed, then we wouldn't have died, I don't think. Well, no, I mean, Vildenpack Outcast is just a ton of damage then, especially with Borrowed Hostility. First Strike and +3/+0 probably would have gotten us. Yeah. Didn't expect Dual Shot. I don't know that there was a good way out of that game, though. I could have preyed upon the Bold Impaler earlier, but it didn't make a lot of sense. It dealt me only like 2 extra points of damage here. I think that it was worth it to try and wait until they had something better. Like, I could have done it on Duelist afterwards. They just had the exact cards that they needed. Alright. Well, that was the Blue-Green Full Force episodes. Unfortunately, we didn't get past round 1, but that happens sometimes. Maybe we'll have a little bit better luck next week. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to be going to Grand Prix Louisville over the weekend. So from the 8th, 9th, 10th, all that time, I'm going to be out in Louisville. So the next week's Full Force, I'm going to have to kind of record on the road here. So we might see some audio dips. I'm going to try and do it on a laptop, I think, maybe from the hotel room. So I may be able to do it once I get home, but it'll be interesting to try and do it on the road, possibly. I think that that's what I'm going to need to do. So I will see you guys next week. We're going to be going over the white-black deck and revisiting that one. And until next time, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you on newmockgaming.com. My opponent has found us out. We are, in fact, full forcing. Alright. This is a sweet hand.